Hello, welcome to Planet Classroom. I am Orb. Join me as your virtual guide on a journey of global learning called Planet Classroom. You will hear stories from artists, musicians, dancers, technologists, game makers, filmmakers, innovators, and creators of all kinds from around the world. It's time to engage our imaginations, share our ideas, and explore solutions for a brighter future for all. Our planet is a classroom where learning together brings us together. Our thanks to Selin Ozunaldin, youth activist for gender equality at the UN, for setting the stage for our show today. Girls have a tremendous, untapped power to change the world. Today on Planet Classroom, you will hear from creators and leaders globally who are stepping up and speaking out on how we can improve girls' sense of confidence and position them to be change leaders.
I'm Selin from Istanbul, Turkey, and I'm on Planet Classroom. I am a guiding group member at Transform Education, a feminist youth-led coalition hosted by Angay. I chose to be a part of this incredible initiative because I truly believe that we have to transform education and the power shift is indeed needed. Governments and organizations must give young people a seat at the decision-making table, especially when the topic is education, since young people are the ones who are in the center of education. Throughout my journey with Angay, I have learned so many inspiring and empowering lessons. I have learned why it is crucially important for us to be as inclusive and diverse as possible. I have witnessed many times why we need to transform education and why we need more young people to step up and speak up. Let's transform education together.
The film I Don't Need a Husband Yet, now playing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, features Rachel, a young teen in Malawi, presenting a compelling case for stopping child marriages.
How do we change this? Well, let me tell you something really amazing. And it happened right here in Malawi. Chief Kajinda Modo. She saved 800 plus child marriages in the center of Malawi. 800 plus child marriages. So imagine if we made a difference in the north, in the south, in the east, in the central. We serve more than 800 plus child marriages. We'll make a greater difference. And our country will be a balanced nation. That's what we need. Girls need education too, just like guys need education. Who knows, maybe that 13-year-old that got married was a future doctor. Maybe she was a future lawyer. Who knew? Maybe she was ready to save a life. So let's make a difference.
My name is Ashley Zoe. I'm from Boston and I'm on Planet Classroom. When I watched the film, I Don't Need a Husband Yet, I was really moved by Rachel's speech. The part where Rachel talks about how these children who have been sold off as brides could have potentially been the next doctor or lawyer or anything they wanted to be, but had their futures taken from them was really moving. Something that I think would stand out to youth audiences who watch the film would be how stark the contrast is between a child bride's life and ours. Losing your childhood by being forced to grow up in such a dramatic way as becoming a mother at such a young age is so inconceivable to me. But the fact that this really happens to young girls is unacceptable, and raising awareness about these issues is extremely important.
The need for eco-friendly hygiene products in a world choked with plastic waste is more than ever before. The Full Stop, now playing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, explores the various products menstruating women can use, while also seeking to eradicate any taboo surrounding the subject.
Menstruation, a word replaced by punctuation. Blood the color of red and the uterine lining is red. For 5 days out of February, she is deemed unsanitary. Afraid to say its name, chained and restrained by rules ingrained in society's conservative conformist brain, She must pretend that it's not real for fear that he could hear. She must be discreet and no one must see. It is an unspeakable disease. Instead of trying to uplift her, the disease lives hidden in whispers. It must be kept under wraps. This disease is a handicap.
Hi, my name is Sandhvi Subramani. I'm from Bangalore, India, and I'm here to talk about my film, The Full Stop. Yeah, the discussion of menstruation in The Full Stop is important because it touches on menstrual health. It's neglected because people consider menstruation dirty and embarrassing to talk about. The lack of education plays a role here too. It's important to educate the public on this basic bodily function to promote health, awareness, and more innovations. We do have a long way to come though because of the societal taboo surrounding the subject. Even advertisements on TV use blue liquid to represent period blood, and I think that's something to work on. Since a lot of people do not have access to resources, especially due to the instability caused by the pandemic, cheaper and sturdier alternatives to single-use products have seen a rise in demand. Shopping outside has also been discouraged, so reusable products like menstrual cups and pads have a larger appeal now. There's so many charities around the world like these that aim to help people in need by distributing resources and creating awareness. While donating is helpful, spreading the message is even more so as it prompts change and donations. I also came across biodegradable pads made of corn and banana waste, which also repurpose waste and help farmers and the planet.
My name is Jordan Schiappo. I'm from New York and I'm on Planet Classroom. The Full Stop is a moving piece on the challenges and hardships women face while menstruating. The film discusses in depth about the economic and health-related issues women all over the world face that most people overlook. As a woman myself, it feels great to be seen and heard for something we are shamed into hiding. Many people don't consider the normalcy of a woman menstruating and see it as being disgusting and unhygienic, when it is a normal part of every woman's life. There is a negative notion around the menstrual cycle that needs to be put to rest, and films like The Full Stop are the first step to normalizing and understanding the female body and the amazing things it is capable of. I'm hopeful that the next generation of youth will be able to soak up the information provided in The Full Stop and change the trajectory of how the female menstrual cycle is viewed by the world today.
The documentary film Girls Should Stay at Home, now playing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, follows the inspiring stories of 3 young women in India as they face tough challenges to follow their dreams.
Women in India should learn to be independent, not to be dependent. So if they are independent, they know they can handle situation, handle cases. If they are dependent, they don't know what to do.
Hello, my name is Neil Menon. I'm the director of Girls Should Stay at Home, a documentary I made a few years ago. Prior to the research process, I hadn't heard of any of these women. So I went in basically very cold into the whole research thing. And it started with just reading online websites, articles and magazines that told the story of important, strong women in India. And eventually I created a short list of about 7 to 10 stories of these women. But there were 3 in particular that really appealed to me. The purpose here was always to create a film that was focused on empowerment and inspiration as opposed to victimhood. I wanted the viewers to be left with a very uplifting feeling and a feeling that they can also achieve their goals, regardless of their gender, just in general a very inspiring film. Aligning these 3 different stories, I feel, led the viewer to draw parallels between these 3 people, right? Because, they come from different professions, different economic classes, and it was just nice to see, especially in the end part where I've cut together their advice to other women, that they really do believe in the same ideals, regardless of all of these other factors. And their basic message was just don't give up, keep fighting, and you will achieve your goals and you will prove everyone wrong.
My name is Allie Crutchfield. I am from Savannah, Georgia, and I'm on Planet Classroom. Something about the film Girls Should Stay at Home that was so inspiring to me was Miss Lobo volunteering to be a traffic warden simply because it would help her community. I am constantly in awe of people helping others solely because it might make someone else's life a little bit easier or their day a little bit better. She is a perfect example of what factors should influence how we live our lives, not based on what pays the most or what's the easiest or the closest, but instead by asking ourselves what's the right and honorable thing to do. Females are paid half as much as their male counterparts solely because they're women. I feel like youth and kids today are exposed to so many strong, powerful women in a variety of careers and life paths that it can't possibly make sense for them to be paid less solely because they're women.
The film Men Helping Women, directed by Isu Shin, and now playing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, explores the way male artists abuse their positions of power with young women in lieu of mentorship.
There's definitely some version of this that's super romantic.
I don't think I can give you a goodbye hug.
We're not done, no matter what anyone says. And besides, I know what you want. You want me back.
I stare at the ceiling. I'm finally alone.
My name is Isu Shin. I am from upstate New York, and I'm on Planet Classroom. I think film and other art forms are extremely important in telling powerful and necessary stories. I think the basic way in which we communicate is we tell stories to each other, whether that is a lullaby or a bedtime story or a folktale that's been passed down for generations. The main message I want youth audiences to take from Men Helping Women is that when you are working in the art world and making art, there are a lot of complicated people. And unfortunately, there can be times when you are not being treated very well or not treated with respect. And I wanted to give clarity to situations that are manipulative or abusive and really hope for a future in which people don't take advantage of their power, especially for younger people, for people who are just trying to get into the industry and just start their careers. My only hope is that this film sort of sheds light to those issues of injustice and kind of contribute to a future in which that happens less and less.
Hello, my name is Paul Hyatt. I'm from Indianola, Iowa, and I'm on Planet Classroom. So, after watching the film Men Helping Women, I sat back and really had to think about what I just watched. It's one of those short films that you can't watch just once because you'll miss out on almost everything the filmmaker is trying to say with it. So I watched it again and really paid attention to how the filmmaker paired the male and female dialogue samples with the eerie yet simple imagery. And when I watched it for the third time, I focused on putting myself in the story and imagined I was the voices who were talking. That was when I really began to get takeaways from the film. Thankfully, films like this are here to highlight these issues and empower men and women to help victims of this kind of abuse. And I think that's also the main takeaway that youth can gain from this film, knowing that they are not alone in instances like these. Unfortunately, abuse and sexual harassment can happen anywhere and by anyone. It's just important to know that no one is in this fight alone, and we can stop this together.
Home Remedy, directed by Christopher Scott Carpenter, now playing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, is the story of Jasleen, a young girl in the New Delhi school system who embodies and utilizes a lesson learned in the classroom to change her life at home.
तो आज की गतिविधि का नाम है साथी की अच्छी बात। अब इसमें हम क्या करेंगे बेटा? मैं आपको स्लिप्स दूंगी और आप अपने साथी की, अपने जो आपके साथ बैठे हैं, आपकी दोस्त, आपकी सहेली, उसके बारे में कुछ अच्छी बातें लिखिए। वैसे हम नहीं सोच पाते हैं कि दूसरे में क्या अच्छाई है, लेकिन अगर हम बैठेंगे, हम सोचेंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ।
Hi, my name is Christopher Scott Carpenter. I am from the United States of America, and I am on Planet Classroom. One of the most impactful themes from the short film is definitely encapsulated in the sentiment from Jaceline's father when he says, "Today's kids are teaching us." I think throughout history, young people have been the ultimate sounding board for societal progress. There is a certain awareness that young people have of the world that they are set to inherit from those who came before them. And if there are any problems of inequality or injustice or abuse, it's the enlightened young people who act on bringing about change. It obviously benefits existing power structures to stay in power, but that's not how we as a global community can improve. Young people have to be empowered to exert their collective voice on the issues that affect them, because it's those same issues that affect our collective future. They're one and the same.
Hello, my name is Deja Lint. I am from South Carolina, and I am on Planet Classroom. The one thing that moved me in this film is how the girl was able to use the happiness lesson she learned in class to better the relationship between her parents. It made me realize that I can use this lesson anywhere, whether it be for myself or for others.
We certainly had a lot of good ideas to share with you today. We would like to thank Céline from UN Youth. We'd like to thank our film directors and special guests, Sampavi, Neil, Isu, Christopher, Ashley, Jordan, Ali, Paul, and Deja. Don't miss I Don't Need a Husband Yet, The Full Stop, Girls Should Stay at Home, Men Helping Women, and Home Remedy, now screening on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel. That's all, my human friends, for this week. I leave you with a reminder to explore your world, express yourself, discover, create, and use your imagination. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.